Okay, welcome to Mist in the Lanasha area of the game. This is a residential district near Limsa Lamenza, and this is where my free company is. Free company's name is Sin on Goblet. I'm sorry, on Goblin, and we have a medium plot here. So you can just take a look around Mist here, and you can see just about where we are. Alright, for Sin, the free company, I'm Lil Mikey Athanos. I'm the groundskeeper rank here. I basically handle the decorating and gardening to make sure that we can get our Thavnarian onions, jute, and whatnot. And they basically left me to my work, and I decorated the entire house. So we're gonna go through and look at everything I did. And just so you know, it's getting close to All Saints Wake, so I don't have the carriage that will be available at the time, but it'll be available soon, and that'll cause this little outside area to be a little different. So I keep it a little simple in the yard. I like to just, for the most part, I always cut away an area for gardening. We're currently growing in these two plots here, jute and mandrake, and they're being crossbred in grade 3 dandelion soil. They create more jute seeds, so each one of these has a 90% chance of giving us a jute seed, so it's almost like every one of these always gives us a jute seed. We crossbreed the jute seeds with curial root seeds, which I grow in Shirogane, and then the curial seeds and jute seeds are planted together in a third house of one of our free company members to make Thavnarian onion seeds. I like having these kind of things here because people like to use them, especially when the guild has events that happen in the free company house. Having places where people can sit and enjoy this without crowding it for too long is pretty nice. Everybody likes to gather around. We haven't used this particular yard for an event yet, but it is built with the idea of events in mind that we've done in other houses. I like privacy, so I have this partition here blocking it off from random passerbys, although there aren't a lot of those. For some reason it bothered me. For All Saints Wake, I do have our otter statues looking like they're holding the pumpkin statues. Here are our chocobo in the stables. And pretty much that's the outside. Nothing really too fancy here. I didn't do anything crazy. It's just a nice place. Inside the house, I decorated it from top to bottom. So the top floor was done first, then the middle, then the bottom. One thing you should know about medium houses and large houses have a ton of space and only have about 300 or so items that you can put in it. So you really have, if you ever go just take a walk through residential areas and look in the large houses, a lot of them are either not decorated, unfinished, or they have so much open space in them that it's so sparse that it just looks empty. And the medium houses are typically very well done, and the small houses are where people really shine and make really good looking spaces. I think that I'll be able to do pretty good in a large house with my Crusader library, because I'll do something similar with the space that I did here, but not entirely. Alright, let's go on in. I'm not really gonna look too much in this place here because I want us to focus on the top floor first. So we're just gonna walk straight to it. Okay. So upstairs here, I have the lighting here at 3. So let's just let you look around and see what we got here. Alright, first up, let's just take a little look at each spot. So when you first come up here, you're greeted with 2 plants. These are, I believe, dragon. This is one of the more expensive plants because the seeds are not typically made on any server. Most people are trying to get Thavnarian onions, jute, glazed nut, things like that. So seeds like this, people aren't really getting, and as a result, it's pretty expensive plants. All right, you can see we are celebrating All Saints Wake. I've tried to tell everybody not to eat these into just being gone, but you know, it can happen. Anything, and now I'm a level 80 carpenter, so anything that I can make, I do. I made our grandfather clock, these picture frames. I had another free company member make our curtains. I think what you do with your walls and the theme you make in the room is extraordinarily important. This open space here in the center just feels fine because the theme of wanting to be in a relaxed, somewhat decadent environment, being against the wall and looking at things happening everywhere else, I felt like that would matter. We have here a fire pit, just where you can have some sushi. There was more things on this table, but I had to sacrifice them to fit our Halloween items. You see here we have our reception. I love that this junkmonger here can wear a suit. So it's really nice. You can have the junkmonger and an estate attendant. Me and a ton of other people, we use Ella's and Mail, Jeeves. It's just great. I don't know why I made this little area here, but I'm glad I did. I really like the glade. I really like this bed here. It's really nice. If it wasn't for the fact that gold and red went so well together here, it would have easily have been gold and green. And I would have used more of the glade items as a result. But red just seemed to work out for the best floor here, so I went with that theme afterward. Alright, let's head on downstairs. Now, many people don't know what to do with the downstairs of a medium house. They get intimidated by the open space and the fact that if you started off with a small house, you could figure out so much to do with the upstairs and the downstairs. But the moment you get here, it's like you have an upstairs, a downstairs, and then you have this other area which is bigger than any of the other rooms you had before. So I use partitions. I partition it, and I'm completely okay with not utilizing all the space that's there, but shrinking it somewhat and making it so that it feels completely different. So the main centerpiece of this room is we have a guild lathe counter with our materia melder, our mender, and I think he's let's just take a look. Right, he's a material supplier. I really wanted there to be natural lighting. I wanted there to be windows behind here, but sadly, when you create partitions for walls, without doing glitches, you can't make it just you can't put big windows on it. So I was forced to get creative with a smaller set of windows. Note that this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So this is 14 items on this wall to make this pattern. And that means that that's 14 items you can't have somewhere else around the house. In order for this to look good at both night and day, in the daytime, this just steals your vision. It would be too bright if you had them while touching. It actually does matter to space them out a bit. At nighttime, these take more of a precedent afterward. I put these Ingen lamps on the floor here, and we're using the flame, the alpine, because it gives a red hue to the house. We have a goldsmithing bench, woodworking bench, and a loom for weavers. We're currently celebrating, of course, so we filled the house with All Saints Wake items. One thing I love doing are these flags by the portraits. I love doing this. I've been doing it ever since I first got the Admiral picture in an older house that we used to have. This used to be the only setup I had where a character was present, but because Free Company members, they gave us flags and they helped out, we're able to have more. Hoshafont is here with the mole banners, because we don't have Ishgardian banners that we can use. You don't want to, in my opinion, you don't want to get too utilitarian with your houses. People start thinking about all the things you have to have, and they try to just throw them in. I know I've gone in houses and seen an entire space dedicated to all of the crafting stations. I think that just looks tacky. I don't think you should do that personally. I think you should just put them where they seem to fit and look nice. About the red lamps. The reason the red lamps are here is when you come in, they're the most reflective things in the floor. That's why I picked them. And the floor being reflective is something that makes this entire floor look better, and people notice it more. That's one reason more. Also, that the lighting is lower. This room here it really serves no purpose but for atmosphere. It's a study. I started doing this in my own house, which is using the glade lamps. They're able to clip with most partition walls. So you can pull the face out just enough to only show the face and make it look as though it's built into the wall. I really, really like this. It just really accents everything very well. I still need to do the Four Lords quest, and then I will put a Four Lords painting here. I'm using one that someone gave me in my own house, so this little area is empty, but it's temporary. Davnarian onion growing there. 2 juke plants growing there. So this was the second floor. Now the main thing is, we wanted one of the members we had really wanted a feasting hall scene that he could have. So downstairs, when I had no ideas left, he said we should make a feasting hall, and he said Hogwarts was what I should be thinking about. So we came down here, and this is what I ended up making. Stone at the bottom. I'll just pan through so you can take a look. this room was after I had did the first 2 floors, and I had to do this in much fewer items. However, the use of large tables such as this, they really let us let atmosphere set how much this room, what should be used on it. Now, he thought of having a mess hall with a kitchen in the background. And this kitchen in the background is one of the main reasons I don't like having, well, the workshop room. Because then you really can't do things like have this kitchen here. And this kitchen space is small. I don't like the big kitchens, although I see why a lot of people do them. A small kitchen here, culinarians can use this up to level 70. And of course, I do know how to float items. So the last 2 crafting stations are up here. These 2 crafting stations in particular I put up here because 1, I planned to level them and other people are leveling them, but these are the most tacky. If you guys saw this on the first floor, it would make sense. This one can't be dyed at all, so it'll always have this sort of worn out whitish red color to it. But setting up this little room here, it puts it out of the way, but it still looks nice. So we're just gonna walk through here now, so you can just take a look. Alright. Thanks everybody for showing up and taking a look. I appreciate it. You all take care, okay? Bye-bye.